Scotland. We've come up to Bishopbriggs in Glasgow. It's the Moulsdale Foundation, which is a fantastic collection of cars and automobilia and bikes. It's in a wonderful facility here in Bishopbriggs, and today is the end of year open day and they're celebrating the McRae family. So the McRae family are here today, Jimmy, Alister and Max McRae. They're going to be upstairs later on giving a bit of a Q&A session and audience participation. So we've got lots of McRae cars here at the show today, including some that are on permanent display here, and also of course the legendary L555BAT and the Sierra Cosworth that was driven by Jimmy, Alister and Colin McRae. So we'll have a look around the cars in a bit more detail and do a general look around the museum. So we've got an incredible Hall of Fame WRC here with a fantastic collection of race overalls from key people in the WRC over the years. So let's take a closer look now at the WRC Hall of Fame overall collection. So let's start off today with this wonderful Ford Focus from 2001. This is of course X7 FMC, which was used by Colin McRae in 2001. It's here in the Acropolis colours from 2002 when it won the WRC. Acropolis being a very good event for Colin. He won it 3 years, 2000, 2001 and 2002 in X7 FMC. But X7 was first used in Cyprus 2001 by Colin, an event that was held in the June of 2001. 2001 of course was the legendary Battle of Britain year where Colin McRae and Richard Burns were fighting for the World Championship, and the event in Cyprus was one that I attended. Chasing Cars 71 were out on the WRC stage in Cyprus, June 2001, and we're lucky enough to see this car in action, and of course to see Colin win the event in Cyprus, beating Richard Burns by about 16 seconds I think it was. It was a pretty epic battle, that rally, with McRae doing some tactical moves on the last stage on the Saturday to gain a better road position for the Sunday, when he then absolutely dominated the event and took P1 from Richard Burns. I'll put some footage on the video of the car in action there from our own footage on Chasing Cars, so have a look at that event now. course, another car here that needs no introduction really, the greatest car of them all, L555BAT, Colin McRae's winning car from the 1995 championship. And of course, this year's been a significant year, 30 years since Colin won the world title, 30 years since Alister won his British Rally Championship. And it's been great to attend a few events this year with chasing cars. We've seen BAT over at Shelsley Walsh at the Classic Nostalgia event, where we were lucky enough to follow it up the hill climb in our McRae tribute car, V5 FMC, the Lucky Focus. We also saw the car at the Knock Hill McRae Challenge in September, which was great to see the car out on track, giving it some donuts and giving it full beans. So fantastic that the family have allowed 555BAT to come here today. Always good to see it out in the flesh, part of the family collection. So yeah, wonderful to see L555BAT. And of course, last but not least, we've got the Sierra Cosworth of Jimmy McRae that was driven by both Colin and Alister. So fully restored here, looking rather splendid. With a great set of Jimmy McRae overalls to go with it. Fantastic. So I hope you've enjoyed the content that we've brought you this year on Chasing Cars 71. It's been a really good year to celebrate all things McRae, particularly as it's been the 30th anniversary. I say we've done some great events, and we've got more events planned for 2026. So if you like this sort of stuff, why don't you think about subscribing to the channel? Just click on the link below in the bottom right and you can subscribe to the channel Chasing Cars. It's completely free. Hit the notifications bell and you'll get alerted to any new content that we put online. We've got plenty of events planned for 2026, and hopefully you can be part of our journey and come along and experience some of the shows that we're going to attend and some of the rallies as well. So yeah, why not subscribe? So the Moulsdale Foundation here has got over 400 cars and bikes on display. You pretty much name it, they've got it here. So I'd encourage anybody, if you're lucky enough to come up to Scotland to see this collection, then make a trip. It's well worth it. They hold regular open days, so check on their website. I'll put a link in the description below and you can check it out to come along and see what a fantastic display they've got, cars and bikes. So we've come upstairs now to the main meeting room area. There's going to be a live Q&A coming up shortly with the Key McRae family. So we've got Max, Jimmy, Alister McRae, who are going to be doing a Q&A session. So let's watch that now.
Are we on? Oh, lovely. I love it when a plan comes together.
We've going to have over 2,500 people here today, which is our largest group of guests we've ever had. It's wonderful that you've decided to come this Sunday between Christmas and New Year. All of the money, 100%, goes to supporting our efforts with various different charities. It's wonderful to have you here, celebrating some of the incredible legends of motorsport. Jimmy McRae, one of the greatest rally drivers of all time. His son sadly passed, Colin, in his helicopter accident. But this is the 30th anniversary of his 1995 World Rally Championship win. I knew Colin from the early 90s when we used to jet ski up at Loch Lomond, and he was as, let's say, as aggressive on a jet ski, if not more than he was in a car. I think he lived his life to the limit at all times. Colin is obviously regarded as probably the best rally driving champion of all time. We have Gustavo Trellis's car here, and he won, I think, in 86 and 87 in the car we've got here, but arguably Colin was the best rally driver of all time. Beside me is Alister, another good friend for a long time. Alister's Colin's brother, and some people say that Alister actually had more talent than Colin, and sometimes you get breaks, sometimes you don't. And in the middle, our poster child, Max, is starting his racing career. He's a wonderful young talent, and we hope he's going to be successful. We're going to try and help him as the foundation with his driving over the next few years, and see if he can equal or even exceed the achievements and accomplishments of his father and grandfather and uncle. Anyway, without further ado, I'll pass over to Dave Neal. Thanks very much again for coming. I really hope you enjoy this Q&A session. I'm sure it's going to be very interesting, and I look forward to seeing you back again next time. Those of you who have already had time to go down and see some of the cars and some of the new additions over the last month or two, I hope you've enjoyed it, and those of you who have just came directly upstairs, then I hope when you go downstairs you'll enjoy what you see, and you'll find many different objects of interest. So, Dave Neal, thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Rallying, bringing the name forward. I guess that comes with its own challenges, doesn't it? Of the weight of the name and the expectation that it brings, although there's no pressure from the family. That's something you've had to adapt to over the last few years.
Yeah, of course. I think it's more of a weight from a social media point of view. There's always a whole bunch of keyboard warriors. When you're not doing well, they'll say that that's a given, but when you are doing well, they're your biggest fan. But you kind of just have to switch it off most of the time and just do your own thing. But the more the pressure you put on yourself is you just want to deliver the results for yourself, for the family, and for your supporters. But of course, the name carries some sort of weight as well.
Jimmy, you started it all off back in the late 70s and early 80s. You came to rallying a little bit later than certainly as Max is, but you soon made your mark on it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I started, the first car I had was a four-door Catena with a Lotus engine in it, and the first rally I ever did, the rallying was cancelled at the time because of the petrol tanker strike. So the first rally I did, I finished 11th overall, and I thought, well, that's not bad. So the next rally I did with the Catena, I finished 6th. Then I swapped it over, sold it and bought a Mark 1 Lotus Escort, and went on from there. Then I got a 5th, then I got a 3rd, and I thought, I'm pretty good at this. And basically, you know, from not having done a rally to finishing 3rd, and it was I can't remember, it was down the Lake District. I thought, you know, there's potential here, and from there, a lot of people thought I was stupid, you know, going and rallying a Vauxhall, but I had a fair bit of support from SMT, the Vauxhall dealers in Perth, and well, that's a year and a half later, I was invited down to do an event in the Borders. It was an event before the RAC rally, and all the RAC guys were there driving. I tried to get an entry or get money to do the RAC, but it wasn't possible. The SMT had said to me, you know, we want to go down and do the Border Counties rally. Everybody goes there to do their practice for the RAC. Well, I went down there with my open built, well, SMT built Vauxhall Magnum, and I beat the 2 works cars, and that was it. I had a contract the following year.
No, I mean, there's a lot of, do you want a story about rallying or what?
No, let's have a rally. We have a rallying audience, so let's have a rallying story. We can go where we want with these questions. We're going to keep a little bit of a schedule, but we will sort of diversify a little bit.
One that's not been told, I'm not sure. I know folk always say to you, oh, you know, what advice did you get from your dad or from Colin? But Colin, when I did the first time I did Monte Carlo, we did all the testing in dry tarmac, and we couldn't find any snow anywhere. So it was basically all the testing was dry tarmac. Then, of course, 2 days before the rally, it started snowing. So I said to Colin, I said, you know, how slowly do you need to go when you go from tarmac to snow on the slicks? And he just looked at me and he says, see, no matter how slowly you think you're going. I went, yeah. He says, it's never slow enough. And he was correct, because the first time I come across some snow at the top of the col, I come in and I slowed it down. I'm constantly thinking, I'm at walking speed now, onto the snow, straight off, up the bank. And I'm thinking, you idiot. But then as I come back down off the road, Peter Sorberg was upside down in the ditch. So that made me feel a wee bit better.
We're successful, and we're just, hopefully we can get the proper deals for Max to come on and do what, well, basically, I don't want him to do what I did. I don't want him to be in the British Championship for 10 years, but to go on and win the World Championship. Definitely.
Over the 3 generations, how's rallying changed? How's the commercial side of things changed? Because I think in a lot of motorsport, sport in general, and life really, changes are happening really quickly these days, and rallying's no different.
Yeah, for sure, I think when my dad was doing rallying, for sure it was a sport, and the sponsors wanted to be involved in the sport, and then it's gradually transformed more into business. But the sport's the sport is side of the business, so I think it's the same in all, especially motorsport. As technology gets better, it gets more and more expensive, and then with rallying, there's not been the manufacturer support over the last few years, or maybe even 10 years. But there's new regulations coming that will cut the cost. At the moment, a Rally 1 car is about 1.2 million for the car, and you'd see how many cars they'll use through the season. So the budgets are so high that I think that the new regulations will hopefully entice more manufacturers in, which helps people like Max, who's coming up through, and build the sport from the top, and then that filters down to the junior ranks. You know, if there's somewhere to go to, there's a potential there to get partners involved and to promote the sport and keep building. So hopefully the next few years are on the growth side.
That's what we'd like to see, and I think the ladies and gentlemen here would agree with that completely. Here we go, let's come out the back. Your question, sir.
I've got a question for Al. I was looking on EWRC results. 1988, Alister McRae, Vauxhall Nova. You had 3 different co-drivers that year. Who was the best?
Yeah, I would need to say Dave Senior, because he continued on for a long time.
Well, I'm sorry to correct you there, Alister, but you're wrong, because he wasn't one of them.
Wow. No, he did.
They were all family members.
No, but Dave Senior did the Galloway Hills with me.
Okay.
And actually, to tell you the truth, we retired in the start line of the first stage with a coil pack issue.
That's why it's not an EWRC.
Yeah, but we did actually go on and do it. No, I think you want me to say Alison.
Yeah,
but
well,
I was actually...
Alison or Colin?
Yeah, Colin was shit. He slagged me off for the first couple of stages because I wasn't driving fast enough, and then we said, well, we'll swap and you show me. So we swapped for a stage, and I went, alright, that's how you do it, cool. Jumped back in, and then he gave me a bollocking for driving too fast in his car.
That's what we're here for. But the legacy remains, doesn't it? The car downstairs, the Subaru Impreza, the lasting memories that we have. What are your best memories, Al, of racing alongside him and being his brother?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the World Championships, the biggest one, but I think Colin was more famous, as we know, for some of his accidents and his kind of never lie down attitude. You know, there's some footage downstairs where he's hit something in the back of the car in Argentina, and it's a take it off and repair it with a rock and then sit at quickest time in the next stage. So I think it's just the way he went about his rallying, and then obviously, as you said, the computer game, that brought it to a whole new audience, not just rally fans. And then the X Games in the States, to roll it on the last corner pretty much and still finish second to Travis Pastrana, who's the biggest hero of action sports anywhere. I think it definitely it lifted the profile of rallying fairly high.
It's so we all missed it. It's great that we have everybody here to celebrate 30 years of the McRae family and of the British Championship and the World Championship as well. So once again, thank you everybody for joining us up here this afternoon.
That's it from the Moulsdale Foundation today. I hope you've enjoyed watching our video. Great to connect with the McRae family and listen to their tales in the Q&A session there, and always good to see a bunch of McRae cars, from the Nova through to the Focus, right through to L555BAT and the Sierra Cosworth for Jimmy. So thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you again on another event very soon. Bye bye for now.
Make sure you like and subscribe to Chasing Cars 71.